Special work session Monday, March 30th, 2026, 6 p.m. City Hall. Roll call, Keith Warning,
Present.
Erwin Tomper,
Present.
Mike Netland, present. Billy Bjorkson's here. Bill Hodge will not be with us tonight. Stand to the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Heather, let's start it off. Should make so much music.
I've been trying to keep the orders down. We've had a couple good days. We've had a couple actually good weekends in March too. We had Ergo, and then on the 21st we had a retirement party, 2 birthday parties, and people came in after a funeral. So that was a pretty good night.
That really, numbers look really good. It's early in there.
Yeah, for sure.
How's your health situation? Are you able to staff appropriately for the business you're doing?
Yes. Hope we'll be leaving at the end of this month, but we've hired another girl who's come on, and she starts on the 9th, I think is her first day. And we're pretty hopeful for that one. She lives right in town, and she's a very nice person. She used to work at this school, I think.
Looks like your Mondays are really down on the on sale.
Mondays are very slow. Mondays are.
It looks like what you're taking in doesn't even hardly pay to cover overhead, wages and
Yeah.
lights and all that. We faced that same issue at the VF Club and decided to close on Mondays. Because it was losing money on Monday nights.
Yeah.
At least until Memorial Day.
Yeah, that's always iffy. Like one of our biggest Mondays is Super Bowl Monday.
Well, that's understood.
So it's a hit or miss thing. I feel like Sundays are down too, but then again, it's also the in-between time. No more football, waiting for summer.
3 days of summer.
Yeah.
It's like it, yeah.
I know I've asked before, and it was for a while, now it isn't again. Can you make sure to have the date column on all of the pages? Makes it easier to read.
Yeah.
And that might be a little bit my fault, Mike, because when you print it out, it's supposed to lay out first page, second page, third page all together. And then you follow the column all the way down.
So is it an issue to get the date in?
No, but
I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Got to add another column at the break.
yeah,
You just have to do something and printing fine, so it just goes in.
you can just insert
You
columns.
can,
make
yeah,
it
you can tell it this column on every page.
I know we have nothing too exciting. Brian and I are looking at maybe updating fencing for midsummer. Look at some options.
Yeah, that was definitely something that during one of our syncs we were talking about, and I just kind of have a problem with that other one. It is like this ratty thing. It doesn't look good.
It's old. It falls within day 2. It's already dragged into the ground.
And then aren't we pounding in stakes too?
Yeah, there's no way around it. We have to fence it.
Well, so yeah, but then we're just looking at the metal fences that just you put down and then they just kind of all link together. I think Brian found some for a decent price, and
I figured it out with about almost 470 feet around the whole thing. It's going to be over about 5,300 for them. I don't know what the shipping is,
Okay.
but it would work.
And yeah, the other thing too is, we can use this for the beach as well. We can use this for the campground, any other activities. Significantly easier to tear up, and tear down.
Whether it's panels or what?
No, they're metal barricades.
Yeah, I think like, those
Long.
cow pens, where they, those, like those, but a little smaller.
A lot of places use them to direct people in certain areas.
Are you talking about fencing panels similar to what construction sites do? They'll put up I think it's about a 6-foot high fence, but they come in 12 or 14-foot sections. Is that what you're referring to?
No, these are probably maybe top out about 4 feet high and 8 feet wide. And they got hooks on one end and hooks and loops on the other, so you can hook them together and move them around and straighten them out, make corners.
There's little T's on the bottom for you.
Yeah, they just come out and they hook down like this, and then there's like 2 holes on the other side for them to slide into like a hit.
What holds them from falling?
They have stands.
They don't have to be staked in.
No, they can just be sat there and moved when they need to be.
I would save the parking lot some,
Yeah.
as long as people don't get carried away, lean on it.
True. Yeah, like that snow fence though, I mean, that or we have to try to figure out a better way to keep it up.
Is 4 feet high enough though? Other for people not climbing over is 4 feet high enough.
I would hope so.
Yeah, it's just, technically, it's just a.
Oh, yeah,
What
like,
Can't
what we
say
have.
oh, yeah,
yeah, here we go, right up on the screen here.
Yeah, typical stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, we just have to provide something to say this is our area.
Yeah. And it'll be nicer too, because then you can put signs up off of it that say you have to be 21 to come in. 'Cause I know on most midsummers, once that fence goes down, and you have to watch twice as hard for people coming in everywhere.
One day, I got one comment I'd just like to make to Heather, if I may.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just in there the other night. I made a purchase in the beer cave and just want to make a comment. I think you've got a really nice inventory sitting there with a good variety of stuff. And I don't know, when you're working with your suppliers, do they try to advise you what to carry and what's moving good, or is that a management decision you make? I mean, you're doing a good job, and I was impressed with the inventory that you carry because I think you're catering to just about everybody's taste. I'm just curious how you engage your suppliers. Is there a feedback they give you to help you manage your
Yeah,
inventory, or how does that work?
it's a little bit of both. Like obviously we keep what everyone has. Since we've gotten the bush light counters in the cases, and the ultra bottles in the cases. A lot of the smaller stuff like the 6-packs and 4-packs, those kind of switch out a little more often, especially because everyone gets a new flavor all the time. So when a new flavor comes in, we'll assess together and see, which one isn't selling really, and then we'll kind of swap them out. But yeah, we kind of just, if they have something new, we talk about it, or if people are requesting new stuff, we'll see who has it, and so a little bit of both.
Okay, thank you.
So how does the year-to-date combined income compare to last year?
Well, I don't know 100% because this is only partially through March. It's not all the way through March. So we won't have the final numbers. I don't have all I gave you the paper with the expenses to date.
Well, at the final of the next meeting?
Yeah, you'll have the finals of the next meeting. And I usually put on the bottom compared to last year. So that will be on the final paper.
So is that something you want to move forward with on those fencing panels, or?
Well, I haven't really looked at them yet. I was off towards the end of last week. So I go in tomorrow. I went in today to catch up on all my book work, so I can have time tomorrow to do some of that. I'm just gonna look at them then.
If that's something y'all move forward with, just have it on the agenda for our regular meeting then,
Sounds good.
so we can all decide.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I think we have to do something different,
Yeah.
something that'll look a little nicer.
Mhm.
Anybody have anything else for Heather? Thanks, Heather.
All right, thank you guys.
Well, Brian.
Evening all. All right, so I sat down, I tried to figure out a budget for what I was allowed to go to. For the beach, I really want to get that water fountain filler, bottle filler out there this year. Because there was a lot of people out there that kept asking me, where the water fountain was and everything, and I want to get it out there for them. We're gonna need to bring some beach sand in, bring up the level up along the foundation again near the grass, because we're already down about 2 feet there. I want to look into getting some new swim buoys this year because our old ones they're starting to crack, they're aged, everything's peeling off. And it's time for some new ones.
How many buoys does that buy?
That will buy 5 large ones that will float out there like the canisters did, and then 2 shallower ones on the sides because our old ones are just breaking apart. They're just coming apart when you touch them.
Probably 30 years old.
They could be styrofoam. So, but these newer ones aren't styrofoam. They're all hardcore, really good PVC. So I was talking with the lady for these, and yeah, it's good product. So, and then I'm looking at possibly getting some beach floaties out there. As you look down below on your pages, you can see a pyramid style tower and a trampoline. These are really good product. There's a huge water park over in Latvia that Brett brought up to me, and I contacted those folks because I've wanted to do this since I've worked here. Try to get these out there. This tower would be a lot of fun you got 2 sides to climb up and 2 sides to slide down. And on the very top of that, you're almost 9 feet off the water. So anybody who swims on these will be wearing a life jacket. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's just how it's got to be. And that will be pushed through with the lifeguards as well. If they see.
How are you gonna enforce that when there aren't lifeguards present?
Well, that's a thing.
Well, yeah, so really, this is kind of what Brian and I talked about. We also had to consider insurance, city liabilities, and then just the overall logistics of these because they're not small. First on the liabilities is signage. We have to have the right signage for it. And we have to have very specific rules for these obstacles, one of them being X amount of people on them at a time. And I think there's a pretty high number, right? So we don't have to worry too much about that. But the other part is a life vest. If you are on these obstacles, you have to have a life vest, period.
Are these requirements that you were told by our insurance company?
No, it's just at first, any of these water parks that you go to that have this, right away, you rent a life jacket if you don't have one.
Have you given the insurance company a sniff of what is being contemplated to get their feedback?
I spoke with her.
Cost of additional premium?
I spoke with her on Friday. She's supposed to email me. I have not gotten an email back from her yet, but I did speak with her in length for about 20 minutes. And there's some things that they want to look into. I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal, but they're looking into it. What she finds, she'll let me know. And then I'll have that information here.
Brian, is that a stock item? Are these 2 items available for quick delivery or?
No, this outfit has another place out in California, and they'll be coming from there to us. So it'll take probably 30 days from the moment that we order them before they're even completed. you know, if they have to build them. I'm sure they have them in stock. They come in big PVC bags. So, you know, there'll be a lot of maintenance on them. You know, that's something I'm willing to take on, you know, because we'll have to blow them up before we put them on the water, check them, make sure everything's safe and good to go, and then get them out on the water. And these can weigh up to probably 300 to 400 pounds apiece.
So these are going in the regular beach area that's there now.
I'm gonna put them just past the swim raft. And then we'll move our buoys out a little further and hopefully move them out a little bit further. Cause I mean, the lake is dropped again. How far do you think it's dropped since last year? Yeah, I mean, even since just last, you know, the end of the season, it seems like it's dropped down. And I was just out by the pier today trying to clean that up. And yeah, I'm just amazed. So I'm thinking where we put the raft last year is it's 1.5 feet shallower. So we need to go out a little bit further just to be safe.
Ooh, boy. So that means I gotta go all the way down there and move all them bricks out another few feet.
No, we can tighten that up. I mean, still, I mean, that was like about 11. I think we're at 11.
That
feet.
was, no, that was about 15, I think where we were at. It was deep
Yeah,
and very clear.
you know. So that, I mean, that'd be great. And of course, on the beach scene up there, you guys see a high resolution camera with infrared be pointed at the rafts and floaties. So that way, if we do see people out there, we need a camera that can see who they are. That way we can, you know, get in trouble if they need to be. And if they go out there and bring a knife with them and chop our stuff up, that's gonna be upsetting. But I guess that's a risk you have to take. You know, hopefully no one does that.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, we have police on pretty much 24/7 and, you know, during the summer season when these are out there, obviously, the police would be, you know, making their
Yeah.
passes
And the
at.
locals are always walking around town too. We got they'd be right out there for even the hotel could see them, so.
And our thought behind all these is, you know, build something for kids and then adults are gonna come. And then, that's just gonna benefit the whole community. I mean, truthfully, you know, these kind of things, there's none in the region. Yeah, I think we would have people as far from, DL all the way to PQ Lakes coming out here, to go jump on these things. And, you know, one of our things we're really talking about is just where's everybody gonna park? Even just with the raft out there, that was a huge draw last year. And, even when I would go out to the beach periodically just to go say hi to everybody, yeah, I can't find a parking spot. I gotta go park on the road. So,
Beach is a popular place in some.
it is an absolute gem, and I think this is just kind of an entryway into continuing to capitalize on that, and you know, kind of consider it more or less a pilot program for this summer to see how it works. And if it is successful, that might be something that the city can then invest in a little more and then possibly start charging. Not that that would happen this year, and I'm not recommending that at all. I'm just kind of really looking out in the future here because at the parks I've been to that have these, they charge by the hour, and it is, I mean, it's just packed every single time. So
And I think with Topeka closing their pool, you know, you're definitely gonna get probably a bunch of those people coming up to the beach, you know, through the summer. But I guess, Brian, like you were saying, you're still waiting to hear back on the insurance dynamic. And then I guess the big question is, did we budget enough money, you know, in the parks and beach budget to cover these costs?
Derwin, I can answer that. Excuse me. So short answer, absolutely, we did budget. We budgeted 10,000 from the original fund for the campground. This would be the Sourcewell grant, which conveniently for us, that's not due to be in until the 22nd of April. So we do have time to make sure we have all the answers we need to move forward with this. Yeah.
So we're not looking for approval here. These are just ideas that are, you know, coming up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I thought we had a little bit firmer of an answer on the insurance. And with that said, we got to roll it till the 13th. So,
That was my only thing is, I'd like to know what the insurance is gonna say before I okay to purchase or approve, but.
But the bottle filler and the beach sand are absolutes.
Did you look to see what it would take to have it, reclaim some of the sand from the lake?
I was testing that out just today down at the pier, going down, without going in the water, because there was a bunch of people around. I didn't want to even put the tracks in the water. And then just pushing up, and I was able to reclaim quite a bit.
But did you see, like, if there's any permits from the DNR that we needed?
I don't think so. It's our beach.
No. All right. I just, that was the only thing is that, but then we should look at, instead of spending more money on the sand, if we can get at least in the meantime, pull some of that sand up.
That's one of the things I wanted to try and go to tomorrow too, is go out to the beach with the skidster at the tracks and see what I can do.
You said DNR is okay with the city reclaiming sand
Yes.
from?
So you can reclaim, you can go 10 feet down back down into the water and reclaim 10 feet of the.
Go out 10 feet from water's edge?
Yep.
Which that would bring us, that would bring a lot back up, but I would say for me, I would like to see it pull some of that sand back up.
And since the lake's down, I can even get out there a little further without going in the water.
And even if you have to get contractor to come in and pull it up, I'd say get an estimate and bring it to us.
Oh, you mean like get a loader? And I'm not.
Yeah, or an excavator or dozer or something, just pull some of that sand up.
Well,
I know they've done it in the past,
so
so.
we go 10 feet out, you can get the skid steer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a good time of year, like you said, Brian, the lake is down, so if we're ever gonna capture that sand, this would be the year to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it might cut in half what we need to
Yeah.
bring in,
Yeah.
who knows?
Cause I know that was in the years past every year they pushed it up with a dozer or something,
Yeah, and I don't even know if that guy does that anymore. I don't think he does.
Yeah.
You're the one that does it?
He had. I can.
He's got the long reach,
Yeah.
he wouldn't bother with that.
But no, it would be nice to see some of that sand pulled back up.
Absolutely.
Cut down on purchasing every year and.
Have we put ads out for lifeguards?
I don't think
we haven't done it in paper. No, I think they're online on, Indeed.
Any responses?
Not yet, nothing. It's just been quiet.
Did you reach out towards as we talked, the last time, reaching out to the instructors, the class?
Yes,
Did you reach out to them?
I reached out. I have not gotten any calls back there yet. I reached out to the Mez in Wadena. She got back to me, but they're not doing anything yet. I'm still waiting on the Red Cross to come back.
That's what I wonder with these floaties, if we would have enough lifeguards to keep an eye on,
Probably need a few of them.
extra.
Yeah, and I was really hoping to try to get at least 4 lifeguards this year for sure. That's what I'm hoping.
And an instructor.
And an instructor.
That's the beach.
Yep, that's the beach. Any more with the beach? All right. The campground, I want to get those 2 more bottle water fillers out there. These are from the estimates from J Brothers last year that I had. I want to get going on the primitive site there, and I'm waiting on a bid from Zach Burton. So
That'd be your second bid.
yeah, it would be the second bid. Still waiting on it.
Because I know Danny did say he didn't count on cutting trees,
Right.
rip stumps, but he wasn't counting on the trees having come down.
Right. Yeah, and that's how we talked originally too, is that the trees are gonna be cut down. I have in here a couple of ADA compliant fire rings, and all those really are is they're about 18 inches off higher up. So it's gonna have more heat shield for people who are in a wheelchair to protect their legs and everything. And then, of course, you can cook a little, it's a higher up with a grate too, so you can put your steak on there or chicken or hot dogs, whatever you're gonna need it for. And then the ADA compliant picnic tables are nothing more than a picnic table with one end that extends a little further out. And it generally has one brace, and that way they can roll right up underneath there and be part of the picnic. And we can make those. We can get the wood, make them. So And then,
So you'd have two sites that you would consider ADA
yeah,
accessible sites.
there's some things coming out that they want to make sure there's ADA compliant stuff at every site, but I think we can get away from that for right now.
Percentage of them maybe.
Yeah, we'll just start putting some in there and then I'll see we're doing it. So we already have them at the beach. And those are those really nice plastic ones, them hardened plastic material composite. Other than that, that's all I got, guys.
So this is from the amount that we had talked about at the last meeting, basically.
Yeah,
Get the primitives in.
Resolution for the DNR outdoor recreation grant.
yeah, we got that all finished up and we're gonna email that tonight.
Well, I just want to post to the council, I think we know that we're gonna hold off on the beach. But we seem pretty solid on the campground. Can we kind of amend this action memo to just cover the campground and would the council consider, a motion to approve the improvements for the campground as presented by Brian Suka?
Well, we need it for the sand. If we're gonna do anything with the sand, we'd still have to,
Just campground.
okay. But on the beach, if we wanna,
We could have that at the next
Yeah,
meeting.
okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on that second, bid for
second bid.
construction of the primitive site.
Okay.
Or, I mean, totally up to the council. We can just table it until the 13th. If we're more comfortable with that.
Well, is there any rush to get it going other than if I can get somebody to come cut trees?
Getting that done. Yeah, we need to get in there and get those trees cut out of there, and then that's just gonna be easier for Zach or Dan or whoever we award it to. I would like to try to get the bottle fillers rolling. That's something.
The three of them.
All three, yeah, including the beach.
Okay, then I think, I'll recommend to the council that we table this till the 13th.
Yeah, we will have all that.
And then-
Bring that down.
I would say just to call for the updated water filler, just get an updated quote on
Yep,
those.
absolutely.
So DNR requires this grant be in by when?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the drop dead date?
Yes, is the last thing we gotta do is, the resolution and again, the DNR grant, this is for, actual work done in 27 now.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
So that they're working a year behind.
Well, they don't get us
They approved this year for money that goes out next year.
Yes.
yes, that's just the way it's gonna have to be. I think, Brian, you mentioned, we're not gonna see funds until October.
October.
And by that point,
What we're granted until June 30th. We won't see it until October.
Well, we can't remove trees because,
You can't touch it.
well, if there's no cost involved, it has the trees out.
We can't touch what the DNR is looking at, and all they're looking at is the new sites, the new full service sites. They're not looking at the primitives. I removed that from the grant completely.
I don't think there would be any reason that we couldn't take the trees out.
They have to go through there and they gotta make absolute sure there's nothing going on in there that can harm the conservation of the animals or insects, birds.
They don't want us to touch the project. That's
Not
all.
anything that has to do with the new
Let's
full
just get
service
plans
sites.
and let them look at it.
Yep, and then once they approve it and we get the money, we can go ahead.
So if I'm trying to find the logger, it'll just be for the primitives and the
Disc golf,
disc golf.
yep.
the DNR grant, the whole process has been pretty invasive and.
Yeah, it's not easy.
You have
I think
to
it's really- I
submit,
think
you
it's
have
really-
to submit a project cost with the grant when it goes in or? not?
Yes, yep, we did. It was like 119 something all after everything.
And that's a 50-50 grant, so it'd be around 60 apiece. Go ahead, Darren.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it's worth the time and effort to go through that process. And not to touch anything to jeopardize our grant application. Meaning, I think one thing you had mentioned before, Brian, too, there might even be archaeological things for Indian burials or whatever. They'd have to have somebody come in and do a walkthrough on that as well. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
They'll do that on their own time. I don't even know if they'll call us to let us know they're there. And,
Okay.
and I could see that being a case if we were out there doing something and they just surprise visit.
Do you have to mark it out for them? Where the plan is?
It's all, the whole area for the new sites, I've already went out and wrapped all the big trees that are in the way. Anything in the center will just be removed.
But that, it's marked out for the DNR as well, so if they
Yeah.
show up, they can,
Yeah.
okay.
They know exactly where it is on the maps and everything because we had to get real detailed on the maps of everything that's at the campground right now and where it's going to be.
I guess we better read the resolution then.
All right, this is resolution 2026-08, resolution authorizing the city of Menahga to apply for a DNR outdoor recreation grant. Be it resolved that the city of Menahga act as legal sponsor for the project contained in the outdoor recreation grant application to be submitted on 31 March 2026, and that Brian Sukup is hereby authorized to apply to the Department of Natural Resources for funding of this project on behalf of the city of Menahga. Be it further resolved that the applicant maintains an adequate conflict of interest policy and throughout the term of the contract will monitor and report any actual or potential conflicts of interest to the state upon discovery. Be it further resolved that the city of Menahga has the authority to apply for financial assistance and it has the financial capability to meet the match requirements, if any, and ensure adequate construction, operation, maintenance, and replacement of the proposed project for its design life. Be it further resolved that the city of Menahga has not incurred any development costs and has not entered into a written purchase agreement to acquire the property described in the cost breakdown section of this application. Be it further resolved, the city of Menahga has or will acquire fee title or permanent easement over the land described in the boundary map or recreational site plan included in the application. Be it further resolved that upon approval of its application by the state, the city of Menahga may enter into an agreement with the state for the above referenced project, and that the city of Menahga certifies that it will comply with all applicable laws and regulations as stated in the grant agreement, including dedicating the park property for uses consistent with the funding grant program into perpetuity. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Brett Gagnon-Palak, City Clerk Treasurer, is hereby authorized to execute such agreements as necessary to implement the project on behalf of the applicant. I certify that the above resolution was adopted by the City Council of the City of Menahga on 30 March 2026.
Move that the resolution be authorized for submission to DNR.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Pose same sign, motion carries 4-0.
And for you, head out tonight, Jody. Yeah. Flowers for greener tomorrows.
Yeah, okay, so last year Greener Tomorrows was right around $774 to do all the planters in the along on 71 there. And we had the planters out right away, but it took like a month before anything happened with them. So I just kind of want to get the ball rolling this year right away. So when we get them out there, they can get the flowers and everything planted right away. I'm figuring around 800 maybe.
They're the only ones that ever bid on it, and we don't ever get any bids from anybody else. When we've tried the bid process, it costs us more to put it in the paper than it did. They do a great job for us.
Move approval of Greener Tomorrows for flowers.
I would second that, Jody.
Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Carries 4-0. Anything else?
Playful? Was that just?
Oh, that's, down business.
Oh,
Gotcha.
question on that. When we talked about the we did talk about flagpole at Erdo, and there was permits that had to be put in. Have we moved that at all?
Haven't touched anything with it yet.
Okay. I mean, I know we have some time as far as the 28 project goes, but I'm wondering if we get a permit for it, if we can get that in before then, not have to wait that long, or?
Right. I'll talk with Ron about it tomorrow. We'll get it figured out for you guys.
I didn't look, but did we fly the Finnish flag during the month of March on the flagpole?
I didn't.
Wasn't another issue that came up?
We were gonna try to,
Wasn't that the month of March?
we were gonna try to put up the flag. That was if we were gonna get that flagpole out front, but then we put both. It'd been nice to have two flagpoles we could fly, Minnesota flag and that one or whatever, but.
I gotta tell you, those retractable flagpoles are the way to go.
Telescopic.
Yeah,
that's
they're
right.
the way to go. That's what we have at the VFW.
Nothing rattles that way, you know that.
Oh, really easy to change out
Let me
flags.
tell you, a windy day in my office. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, yeah.
All righty, thanks, Brian.
All right, thank you guys.
What do you got wrong?
Get out of here. Yeah, look,
Now you're locked in.
I'm gonna take the chair with me.
You're literally locked in.
Oh, that makes a good laugh to come up here. Get that there.
All right, Ron.
Thanks.
All right, start from the beginning at the bait sprayer update. Got it running. Just the controls right now won't shut it off, so it'll just keep spraying. So it's either the handle, something in there, or the control valve itself. So kind of still looking into them aspects. I mean, it sprays good.
Did we just get a part for that thing?
Little balls we did, but we need to still order. I need a little adapter to try the spraying handle itself. And then if it's the handle itself that's acting up, it's about a $250 part for a new handle. For a new spray handle.
Okay.
To buy a new one of them, it's about 10 to 12,000. And they're crazy in price, so. It's an old sprayer. They don't have the parts readily available, so. It's one of them things, getting it situated. Street sweeping, did the curb and gutter areas, the main streets, leaving kind of the sand on the other streets. You know, we still have this cold shots coming in. Leave that there, so we don't stick too much more salt sand once you get better weather. I did send Brett a picture of the conveyor belt, so there's a split in it right now. About a 8-inch split. Been keeping track of it, make sure to keep on watching it, making sure it's not doing anything extra, so.
That is a rubber belt, or has it got paddles on it, or?
Paddles.
I'm sure they're not cheap, but.
I haven't looked at the quite price of it, but even the maintenance to try taking it off and putting a new one on also. Take quite a bit. And did send in the water quality parameters for the quarter, so that's every 3 months. Next one's coming up this coming month for another 3 months. So do them 4 times a year. Also, the new lead and copper for this year, they changed it, so I still have to work on the new plan, which has to be into them before it's June timeframe. So now they changed it to a different stage where you have to get prior approval from Department of Health, which each house you choose. So you have to be able to go into the house, get a hold of the homeowner, go in the house, inspect. Got tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. They want you to go by tier 1 first, which would end up being any old service line going into the house. The next one is still tier 1, which would be newer service line going in the house, but with older plumbing in the house. And then you go from there. They want you to be able to at least pick 5 of the older, if there's still ones with older plumbing in the house for the lead and copper sample, then choose different places. There's all this new, even in 2028, they're coming out with the new rule for there. That's what came from the conference. That any old goose nets that could have, although our horns could have lead soldering, have to be taken out. So each one of them have to be replaced. Any other, so it's not considered after our horn, but any fittings that are to the meter that city has provided has to be replaced
What do you replace it with?
with brass.
All those new meters have the brass arms on them.
Yep. So they had old galvanized goosenecks and galvanized fittings going to the horns. Them ones have to be looked at and made sure that they're the newer style. If they're not, then they have to be replaced with this.
Any idea how many of those there are in the city?
Right now, I couldn't say offhand.
Cost to replace and upgrade is what? Per
A new
residence?
one of them horns that's come to around 100 and
That includes fittings for it?
Hey, Ron, are you gonna have to dig down to the curb stop to inspect, or how are you gonna visually, or how are you gonna detect if you have a lead, joint, or if you have a galvanized pipe fitting there?
inside the house itself.
Oh, I
Coming
thought you
up
said
through-
it was from the meter, up to the meter.
Yeah, so it comes up
Okay.
through the floor, be able to check inside the house itself.
So the curb stop isn't in play at all with this,
No, the curb stops are all new, then we're all checked on our as-built, so them are all up to date, all the curb stops
Okay.
are. It's any fittings that are actually coming into the house that go to the meter itself.
so what, is that our responsibility because we're providing, fresh water, or is it the homeowner's responsibility?
This will go through, Department of Health. When they send their whole regulation, they'll give me all the information through it to go by.
It should be just
It's,
the meter portion, I would assume, because we don't do the pipes into the house. We do to the curb stop.
Yeah.
Homeowner takes care of everything up to the meter. We have the meter and then it's homeowner.
yeah, we have the fittings for the horn and stuff that city has provided, and then the meter.
So that's the only thing that would have to be replaced. Unless they have letter.
Unless it's a lead service line. There's only two service lines. So the one service line right now is the old baseball field bathroom that has galvanized pipe. So that one needs to be replaced.
That's at the school.
At school. And then they have their old cast iron pipe over there. So that'll be put in. I talked to Chris about that, so. And I'll talk to also the the superintendent over there. Cause if they choose to go the route through the Department of Health, a lot of paperwork, but if they want to choose to decide to replace or pay for the school to pay for that service line to be replaced, then they can go that route. So I'll talk to the superintendent, to see what also routes they would like to go with that.
Do you do water testing over at the school?
They also have a yearly water testing for lead samples. So they do that there too. So they have a separate tester that comes in. But yeah, at there with the fluoride. They haven't made any standing to try lower it yet. I mean, we're still at that 0.5 that we have to keep it at. There's no idea or set in place with what date.
I haven't seen it in
They're
any
gonna be-
legislation this year, so.
Yeah. So we still gotta keep on going with that aspect. It's too bad.
That comes from the state.
Yeah.
I'll shoot an email to our rep and just say like, hey,
Yeah, we don't need to keep adding it. I mean, they brought it down to a 0.20. But then the other aspect says is 0.5. So there's two different rules. So 0.20 was the limit of raw. that they wanted you to stay at. 0.5 is the next limit that they want you to go from, so 0.5 to a 0.9.
Was that state or federal?
That's state, federal, I believe is, well, kind of the same aspect, but yeah, that's a state mandated.
Well, the federal government doesn't have a say at all.
Federal can, but the only city that, or state right now that actually was it Iowa is the only state that actually made that rule to be able to change it. They're the ones that have moved forward
When you
to
say,
state it.
when you say, just for clarity, Ron, when you say the only state that made a rule to change it, meaning they are allowing their municipal city governments to do whatever they want as far as the fluoride, or they can take fluoride out completely.
They could take to do with what the fluoride with they choose.
So they can go down to zero as far as adding anything to their water supply. Is that what you're saying?
I couldn't tell you that for sure. I could look into that. There's always still a raw that they have to maintain.
What do you say, our natural fluoride is what?
Our natural fluoride is a 0.28. Well, 0.28 and 0.26. So each well, one's a little bit different than the other.
In fluoride, just on the periodic table, it's just F. And that's one of the most prevalent elements in the Earth's crust. It's everywhere. But then we have to add fluorosilicic acid, and that's the one that's like F2 something, something, something. And it's just,
Not doing good for it.
yeah, it's not fluoride.
Because right now we're barely feeding. We feed around a pound a day. So we're barely feeding to decide to keep it at their level that they want us to be at.
And that pound is spread over how many gallons on average?
127,000 is what we're feeding now. So,
That's your average daily
you
usage.
know,
So it's not very concentrated in each gallon then.
It's just a cost of money.
Mhm.
It's some chemical company, they can't sell it.
On the water meters, are we sure that all of the meters are reading properly and working like they should?
there's a few that just came up with the last reading that I gotta go to a couple of houses again. We're keeping up on them, so.
You know, not to push this issue, but so you're going on record right now publicly saying all the meters are working except 2 or 3? Is that what you're saying?
Right now on the list, there was 10 of them that I gotta go from the last reading.
10 that are not working correctly as of right now,
Correct.
and they're targeted to get fixed when?
Looking at them through this week and next week,
Okay, thank you.
by before next reading.
Will they
At
likely
least.
be replaced with new meters then?
Yes.
We have enough stock.
Yeah, I've been gradually keeping on ordering.
You know, if those are all those oldest meters or
Some are the older, some are,
maybe.
yeah. The one, I believe 1 or 2 of them had a plastic, one of them plastic antenna ones. So the in between. Then hydrant flushing will be starting April 13th, around that time frame for the spring. And then keeping up on doing the quarterly maintenance in the water plant, the drain down.
During your house, water should be getting better around that day.
Or we're,
Yeah, I'm gonna hold you to it, Keith.
Yeah, good for a couple days
Well,
anyway.
what we do is over there, so they're around that time when we're flushing them all, we flush and then we'll put that auto flusher on there also. Out on that dead end
By
side.
Rite-Aids, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think it helps, Ron. I honestly do. It seems like when you're flushing in the summer, it's not as bad.
that, water line break, we had that saddle you put on, any problems with that?
Nope. Been holding.
Well, at least we found out what 70-year-old pipe looks like.
So you've been out patching holes in asphalt streets.
Mhm. Yeah, I still have a couple more out there, but got the biggest ones today.
I saw you over by the funeral home today.
Yeah, it's a hard one because it's always full of water.
Well, that's the handy part about that patch too.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all season patch. Put it in there, pack it down really good.
How many pallets did you have to order?
Ordered one pallet. One pallet comes with 40 bags. Went through about 20 right now, so still have half of the pallet.
You try to use it all up so you don't hold it up, or
Try to keep it on hand so that if some do pop up throughout the year, we still have some to be able to fill in holes.
How's our salt sand mixture? We got plenty
Will it
left.
go up? No.
No.
Oh, there's probably 10 yards maybe left. About that, yeah.
3 truck pulls.
Yeah, something like that.
Hopefully
So,
enough to go through this next week.
yep.
it'll be melted
So-
by the next
Next
day.
Wednesday it'll
Yeah.
melt.
How much do you usually go to?
I think this year we went through 110 yards, about like that.
That sounds fun.
So,
That's about normal.
because we still had some in there from previous year and we hauled in around 95 yards. So yeah, it's,
Do we have anything else for Ron? I think so.
Aim.
Good evening. All right, so our calls from March 6th through March 26th, we had 124 calls. State citations, we had a speed, a driving after suspension, expired registration, and then our arrests, we had a second degree DUI last week. You can see the mileage on the vehicles. I had put on my report last month. We did get that new to us 2022 Ford Explorer. Had 28,000 miles on it when we got it. So far, it's great, no issues.
Joe loves it.
Joe loves it, yes.
He said, I stopped and talked to him the other day when he was sitting in the parking lot. So what do you think? I love it.
Yeah, he loves it. But that,
Did we get stickers on that yet? Or?
he had to order the graphics because we're gonna put ghost graphics on it. So you can see them, they're just reflective because he really wants to work traffic this summer, which I think we all know that we have an issue with a lot of speeders coming in and out of town, every direction in town here. So he loves running traffic. Miscellaneous information, I did close the grant process for the impact funding that we got from Sourcewell. So that's done. And then our tasers are very much so outdated. They do need to be upgraded and replaced at some point. They still work. It's just if one breaks, they don't fix them anymore. Kind of it is what it is. I did price out taser 10s or 17,000 for 3 of them. I'm gonna price out taser 7s now. I have to assume they're cheaper, and then I'm gonna apply for some funding.
We gotta remember Sourcewell's fiscal year flips and the
Correct, but I've already
June,
applied
right.
for
Yeah.
impact funding, so I would be in round 2 next go around.
okay.
So
Well, I would invite you to appear at the VFW second Tuesday
we just had that conversation today. I said, I feel like I'm always going to the
at
same place
7:00,
next Tuesday.
second Tuesday of the month. 7:00.
We just had this discussion.
Bob, you
We
did,
hate asking the same people all the time.
Well, we have the gambling
Yeah,
proceeds and we have to reinvest those
yeah.
within the community by
Correct.
law, so.
Yeah, I know you guys help out every year when I need
But-
something.
At the next meeting, I am gonna propose to the VFW that we not fund any organization that does not appear before us to request funding.
Oh, I understand that. I would, the one that I can apply for through Sourcewell would be that the boost funds, it's $2,000, which, I mean, it would still be helpful. We do have the option of doing a payment plan on tasers. I think it's is it a 5-year contract? Cause we finally paid these off and now they're obsolete. So I don't like payment plans. If we
Can
can.
we lease some? And
That's what,
That's what it is.
it's a 5-year lease.
So, I mean,
Just like an upgrade at the end?
no, it's ridiculous. The ones we have now, like I said, work fine. So hopefully everything keeps working fine.
If they are leased and an issue develops, a repair issue, do they pay for the repair or do we?
When they still repair them, but these are so old that they don't.
I understand that, but while they're still under the lease,
I have to read the contract. I don't know.
you don't know if.
No, because this was already done when I came up here. So,
I believe they do, but don't quote me on it.
Well, you did say you had some other places you were gonna look for donations to.
yes. Yep.
Okay.
So that's the plan. We don't have it in the budget right now, so I mean, it's not like we need them. And there is another department that offered free ones in case something happens to one of ours, because they're gonna be getting rid of theirs, so we have options. Other than that, that's all I have.
I have anything else?
Yeah, Jody, I said one other item I'd like to ask Amy about.
Good.
I know in the past we've talked to you and you prioritize this as far as the gate break enforcement. And you say it's really dicey to get these people pulled over or whatever, but I know it's still an issue. Can you bring any new news to the table as far as a plan of action, or have you pulled some of these guys over? Because once the word gets out, if you go through Menahga and Jake break, they're gonna enforce it. You know, we're in the trucking business and, you know, we've got muffled Jake breaks in our trucks, but can you just speak to that a little
I
bit?
know last summer when we were having all those issues, trucks were stopped. I actually went out to the construction site and had words with the supervisor about it. That seemed to take care of the problem. I know when I hear them in town, it's always, well, 71 or 87. I'll come into town to 71 and I'm like, 3 semis, nobody's Jake breaking right now. Which one are you? You know,
I'll have to start taking pictures for my hot tub.
yes, send me pictures from your hot tub.
I know there was a person who was looking next door at some property that's for sale on Spirit Lake, and they had made a comment about the noise coming in on 71 on that side of the lake. And they actually made a comment about the Jake breaks coming through town, and not to say they were gonna buy over on our side of the lake, but it's kind of funny that somebody from out of town would make that comment, you know?
Well, they're not.
But
used-
maybe the timing was right and everything, and I know you're on it, and I just wanted to bring it up because I have had people comment to me that it's still an issue, it's still a problem.
Yeah.
But I know you've been working on it, but I just wanted you to speak to it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's if you're not used to hearing it, like I have to assume anyone that lives in town, they're like, oh, just a Jake break. You know, it's like the same issue with our siren going off. How we changed that, I think you acknowledge it when you live in town, but it's like, oh, you're used to it. Anybody from out of town, like I hear it, obviously it would stick out to me. It's no different than living on 71 with the rumble strips. You first move into a top or a house and it drives you crazy, but then you've been there for a year and you just don't even hear it anymore. So no, and I will definitely pass on to the guys too, to make sure that they're tracking people down. But like I said, I go out there and here we have a whole line of semis and I don't know which one's doing it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of funny from the north, they'll Jake break all the way up to the grocery store.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Come on,
Mm-hmm.
you've had plenty of time to slow down.
87's bad too.
Anything else for Amy? Thanks, Amy.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Barry. But January was your big month. It's like January was the big month.
Okay, that. I don't have that in front of me, but. Yeah, shit. No, yeah.
Well, that seemed like that was everywhere too. It was all over the news. All kinds of counties around us where there was lots of fires and everything.
I guess you call it kind of self-explanatory. It was what Keith provided here. 1, 5, 6. I have a total of like 9 pages. A couple of them, we got 1022 that are canceled en route, so we don't really report them. Just the other night, we had one go to Huntersville where a guy's cell phone fell off of his four-wheeler, but it took the emergency response. So,
Oh, boy.
that's about probably the third one in the last year and a half that we've had, so we're getting more and more of those. We had one on stock in like last summer too, where the jet skier was going across with the cell phone and the jet ski, but set it off.
We definitely need to capture that metric though, because
We could, yeah, well, like I said, I got them on here, it just wasn't on the stuff, which maybe, I don't know.
yeah, please. Yeah,
We can do
definitely. Yeah, a column on there.
What's the CO2 for the city? What was that?
Carbon monoxide detector went off,
Oh,
just on, northwest corner of town here, couple, were in a home and it went off and, they hadn't had any repairs or anything done to them, but we got them out of the house and inspected, and we actually called we had called their furnace repairman and come and I think I was out of town at the time.
And I was working, so I didn't.
I believe they found a small leak down where the gas intake was, but they called Samuelson Lane. He came down from Park Rapids and they repaired it, and we ventilated the home and stuff and checked the whole house. And I believe the wife and child did go stay someplace else. The husband wanted to stay home, but it was definitely the levels were not detectable anymore before the department left. So
the monitor work?
yeah, monitor worked real well actually. Yeah, and that was actually I think our second one of the year. We had one earlier in the year or something on that too. So we get a few CO2 calls, and that's what that means. Just their detectors are going off, and they just on incident call that I did personally got a call the other day of a person burning in town, and we all know we're in red flag as of yesterday. So I just called actually, I think the sheriff's deputy went and talked to him. I figured it'd be better probably if I just had a law rather than me personally go up there, but a homeowner called me and it was taken care of. A leak file was extinguished and so.
Powder dry out there.
Uneventful and probably the homeowner, I don't think he even had any idea, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're not paying attention to those warnings don't come to everybody, but so it was rectified quickly.
If we don't get rain, we're gonna have a lot of them.
Yeah, right.
We'll get snow.
We need feet of water.
Couple of projects that we worked on this winter in the hall, when the guys had more time, we got our hose rack completed. We had an old wood one in there. Derwin's probably gonna test it. Eli kind of took kind of that and made a real nice steel rack. Significantly less than what it would have costed to buy one, and it's very nice. You guys welcome to take a look back. There's in the far north section at all.
It won't fall apart like the old ones.
Pardon me?
It won't fall
Yeah,
apart
well,
like the old ones.
because we actually anchored it to the floor too. I mean, it's actually anchored and it's got a nice shelf on top with expanded panel and stuff. We got our lights completed. We're all in good condition back there. First part of the compressor showed up today. The holding tank showed up today. We were told by the sales rep that it wasn't going to be until the end of the month, but I called yesterday from shipping department. So I'm hoping the whole thing will be in service, hopefully maybe by the end of the month, end of April. So,
let me know, give me the documents too, so I can close the grant out.
right. Yeah. As soon as we get everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yep.
Glad it's coming.
That'll be a good deal. And he did take some information. He had a couple of interested parties of buying that older compressor. So we kind of put a price on it. So we're hoping to maybe come up break even on it. So we'll see where that goes. I haven't heard anything from his part. Keith took it upon behalf of the fire department, and he went out of his way and applied for an Enbridge grant for radios. At our big drill we had this winter with multiple agencies in town here, we found out that we're pretty in dire need of some new handheld radios. I would say probably 80% of the ones that we have now are hand-me-downs twice over. And they've come from other agencies throughout the state. Davies was really good at getting them, but they're significantly old and they're not working. And we had a lot of trouble communicating inside the building, no listeners, no. With my tag teams, we had basically no communication with them in there. So Keith knows radios quite well, and he's gone and done some research on some, and we're looking at. I would really like to update 5 of them. I mean, we got 24. But
24,
24,
25.
25 handhelds, everybody's got one on the department usually, and, I'm not looking at doing that whole thing out to get built, cause I mean, it would just be astronomical, but because these ones running around $2,800 fees.
20, yeah, 2,600, the ones we're looking at. And the same thing, all our portables are, once they break, they're junk. They're not fixing them, so.
So, but Keith did get a $6,000 grant, so I mean, that's good for, two, right up to get go. We do have some money in our equipment account where I would really like to get 5, say for the chief, assistant chiefs and a couple of captains, the ones that communicate the most on scene, And, that or else I would actually even maybe step mine down, cause I can be I can be in a vehicle or close to it too. I would, probably more important than that would be the attack teams to have good communication. 'Cause I mean, that's fight or death when you're inside the building, if they're not working, it's pretty volatile.
And it'll be about just over 13,000 to get 5 of them. That's total. Then you take the $6,000 off what Enbridge donated. So
If you look at spending another 7,000 on the.
Then I'll tell you, as I told Amy, second Tuesday, 7 o'clock, VFW hall.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna start considering grants for organizations that don't come to
No,
appear
and we
before us.
appreciate that. We've sent, representatives, I know, and we appreciate everything you give. And we do greatly, we do. I mean, at this time and point, we do have monies available to, I mean, if we were to, and we'd like to just, I guess, okay, to discuss it at our upcoming meeting here next month and see if we can move forward. I'm not racing to jump.
Yeah, let's put on the agenda.
I think minimum, we'd like to, obviously we got monies for 2. I mean, and we're not gonna get a break if we're under 5 or under 2. You know what I'm saying? So I think in the near future, we'll probably give you the okay to get 2 of them, if, in using this Enbridge money.
well, to discuss it at our fire department meeting as well, to make sure that the team is, or the department is something that wants to do that, to spend some of our equipment fund, and then would come to the council.
I'd like to,
So,
but
Do you have a meeting before the next councilman?
no.
No.
it's the 4th April.
And again, I'll point out,
It'd be the 20th is when we'd have our, and the 13th.
It'd be
right
May,
after.
it'd be May for the
Yeah.
council.
I mean, I also want to point out that speaking of the choir, Sorkswell is gonna open up probably in July again.
Yeah.
And this pretty big ticket item, we could probably get, the 40K match, and then there's always
At this point,
They'll be second on that too, just like Amy was.
oh, we'd be happy with anything that, So-
Did you approach Sourcewell about ordering through them for the radios?
I
Because
just
there's
I
a
just went
huge
to the-
discount you can
yeah,
get that.
I just went to the company we've ordered through for the police department and stuff. Just to get a estimate. That's all it was, is just an estimate for, to apply for Enbridge. We had to have an estimate of what it,
Right.
So I haven't even checked with Sourcewell to see if there'd be the
I'd
discount.
encourage you to
Yeah.
reach out to Sourcewell to
I-
their buying program and
Oh,
see
yeah.
what they could do.
Yeah. I'll see what they have, if they have, if the company that we got the estimate through, if they're a contractor with Enbridge or, Sourcewell. But I'll see if they have a contractor.
We'll definitely check reputable sources before we order it. We're not gonna make a phone call and say, go get it, so. But, yeah. So that's kind of on the equipment end, on the smaller equipment end of it. I'd just like to mention that, we got 2 new members taking firefighter 1 and 2 as we speak. I think they're probably close to being through their program. That's Tony and Max. We do have a few other firefighters that came on, Frank Moore and Edwin Ikes and Scott Nelson. Scotty Nelson's a returned firefighter I'm not sure, I should say, they're coming on, they're in the process of coming on. Edwin is, Frank and Scott have got their applications into the city and stuff, and we've talked about them, but I was gone for about a month, so bear with me. But the other candidate is Edwin. And I know he's got an application because he was given it. I'm not sure. I'll just see if he's dropped it off and let you guys do your stuff.
yeah, I mean, as soon as the fire department votes on making them members, I just need their names so I can get them on a memo for the council.
So I'm happy to say with that, we will be at a full roster at 25 members, which is great. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, for today's volunteers. I mean, I'm very happy with it. And, out of that whole team, they got some real good guys there that very, very happy about it and excited about it.
Nobody's leaving, nobody's retiring.
We're not allowing them.
That's, there you go.
Not right away anyway, so, but, so we're looking good on that end of it. Spoke with Jim, he's kind of my go-to guy on turnout gear, funding, through FEMA. He's been in contact with the grant writer. As of today, FEMA has not been funded. So we're still all, everybody's sitting in the loops. And, this is what he was told anyway, as of today, they hadn't been funded. So imagine that, right? But, as soon as we are, up there on the list for her writing, but she's not gonna start it until, there's obviously not, and so we're still kind of holding on that.
Hopefully within the next 6 months, they fund FEMA.
Something, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They might not have anybody.
Are the firefighter 1 and 2 courses, are they correspondence or do they go to an actual classroom?
They go to the classroom. This one's being held in Park Rapids, actually. Park Rapids is hosting this group. I think there's like 7 or 8. There's from Frazee, Park Rapids, Wolf Lake, Menahga, usually the neighboring fire department will host it. So they've been going there. But I think they had a picture in the paper on the internet. They were doing some LP training on the internet, which was kind of interesting. And they're getting close to being done with their training now. I'm sure they'll wrap it up this spring there. Then they'll have their testing and stuff. So it'll be good. Our department. So,
I had asked before, if we could get a, capacity for the VFW.
I know. I've not forgot about it. I just haven't got on it. But yeah, I got the guy. I got to call him. Yes, we'll put on that. I promise you. One other thing I would like to request. I know it's always about spending money, but 4855 is not getting any younger. It's 21 years old this year.
That's our main engine.
That's our main engine.
Our main engine.
We've done some contacting just with companies just to see what their timeout is, and you're looking at probably 18 months minimum to get an apparatus. And I would like to, if the fire committee we would like to get together with the fire committee, kind of a truck committee from the fire department, and just discuss what we're sitting on it. If we can start looking at plans, I mean, it's something that's coming around the corner that we're not going to be able to deny it.
Is there any used ones that aren't, old?
There was one Jim had spotted on something, and yes, there's some available out there. But we didn't know if this was an insurance deal or not, because it was kind of a weird thing. It only had like 2,400 miles on it. It was a 24 model, 24 or 22 model. Don't quote me on that. I can get the info for you. And that was selling 874,000.
And they're not cheap.
No, they're not.
What does that compare to the cost of new?
Probably anywhere between 7.5 to 1.1. Depending on where you go and what you get.
But I know the new ones are like a year and a half out.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying. If you're lucky, 18 months is what that's the short end of the stick. So I would just like to sit down with the fire committee. I mean, we have an old spec of a truck that we had looked at a few years ago that we didn't pursue. And just to get some ideas, kick it down between the committees, and just more of a pre-planning. So, I mean, we obviously have some funds in our equipment fund. We're not looking at draining that by no means. Jim's been very good about, getting financing allocated and available through his sources. And the last truck, I believe we have 2 payments left on that. And I think they're on 24,000 each. So, and even with the tight finances, we're not sitting in a terrible position where I think it's something that we could, and should truthfully start pursuing, start looking at seriously. Because I mean, they're not going to get any cheaper. I mean, you're probably going to increase your price about 100,000 every year, on an average. So just something that I'd like to, when the committee could, if you want to make a note, maybe at your next meeting, if they want to, whatever, just contact with me and we'll make it work.
Yeah, I mean, just reach out to your committee members.
Yeah, I mean,
call a meeting.
Yeah.
And then,
and I believe it's Mike and Darwin on the fire committee. Okay, and we'll talk and but we'd like to sit down, Jim and I and a few other senior members on the truck committees and just have a sit down, and everybody's welcome. I'm not saying just them, but I mean, not to tie up everybody's resources. I mean, Jody, you want to say?
We can't, we'd have to post it, man.
Well, we have
Oh,
to
you
post,
post-
yeah, we have to post it anyway, because.
But either way,
So the way we got it set up,
Legalities, whatever's gotta be
we got
done,
it set up for the
but
committees to meet and then make
It
recommendations.
just would be nice to sit down and start discussing it, start planning for it.
Yeah.
Do you think, meeting like an hour before one of your drill nights?
That would be wonderful. Absolutely would be, yeah, before.
That way your guys will be coming in and they can transfer over into the drill part of it.
Yeah, I mean, we could have one before the next meeting if you want to plan one now. I mean, when's the 20th, what's the next meeting?
Yeah.
Would that, I mean, is it too early? And then we don't have to hold it now, Durham, we can talk, we all got phones. I mean, we can get a hold of each other.
The 20th is our meeting, but next Monday is our training. So I think our meeting,
I'll be back, the 14th of April, so anytime after that.
the 20th would work better for you guys.
Well,
We have that Greenwood Connection meeting on the 20th.
he's just getting back, so maybe we'll look at May sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna look at May.
Okay.
Like I said, it doesn't have to be done tonight, but I just wanted to get it out there so we could get together and start discussing and seeing where our options are. And
And then if we move forward with that, you just gotta get Zach. Start searching.
right.
Don't quit looking at gravel trucks
Right.
and.
We've all been looking for trucks. We see when we send them to each other just to, and getting ideas. It's like, we all look for.
One other thing that I am looking on 55 or mainline bumper, the rubber on it is 21 years old too. I was just looking at it tonight before I come to it. Steers are in fairly good shape tread wise, but I'm starting to get concerned on the sidewalls. I'm gonna do a closer inspection on it. And,
21 years, a long time.
it is, it's a long time for rubber to be set. So I know a couple of the drives on are probably down, less than 50%.
The age of the tire is the worst thing.
Yeah. I don't want to be going on the road with that steer.
And they're starting to kind of stop too, so.
But that's kind of what we have the department wide. I mean, nothing extravagant, but I mean, had a good winter. I mean, got good turnout, guys. We've had great response on calls. Guys got some younger guys in there and they've gone all last year.
So 25, our average response time was 7 minutes.
Yeah. That's from the page.
Yeah,
To
time of
see.
page that, yeah,
I've seen.
7
And
minutes.
paid
So,
till the unit was rolling. So that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the best in the county, even the city of Medina, so.
That's pretty darn
with
good.
that. I will talk to Amy left, but we had one firefighter right crossways in the maze right front. He was a young guy.
He's a rookie.
He's a rookie and he did get spoken to.
Yeah, we don't care if he parks up front, okay? Just, don't take up 5 lanes or whatever, okay?
Halfway on the road.
Young guy did the adrenaline blows. And
Hey, fine by me.
I guess that's kind of where we're sitting, guys. Any other questions or anything?
Anybody got anything else for him?
On the Enbridge donation, we just have to do a resolution.
Yeah.
And then thanking Enbridge for the.
Yeah, so I'm gonna read a resolution. It'll have probably Enbridge on it. We're gonna have Spirit Lake Association, probably VFW. So, you're just gonna let Kelly know when you get the check.
It'll be electronically transferred.
Oh,
So
okay.
same thing that when the squad car, so the whole account, it'll just be around May 1.
Okay.
So,
Well, we'll keep an eye out for it.
yeah, so it'll be electronically transferred, so.
I normally get emails and before I get them, so.
All right, well, if nobody has anything else, we'll carry. Thank you. That gets us to law.
Hey, good evening. Do you, did they get this?
No, I didn't give it to him just because we're kind of on that. We cover you at the regular council meetings. I can go and print them off though, if that would be helpful.
Um,
Or, yeah, I just,
I'm fine with the next month.
I need 2 items out of here, so, yeah, so we can move forward with them. So I need to have the doors, the motion that was made to purchase the motion to allow me to do what needs to be done to bring the fire doors into compliance, so that we were cited on the doors by the fire marshal. And we had a company from Wisconsin come out to tag them. They were able to tag the frames, not the doors, because they believe the doors have asbestos in, so they couldn't core them to drill them to see if they were fire doors. They have like a dowel on them to show that that they are fire doors, and they've been like that for 60 years, you know? But at this point, the fire marshal says they don't have a metal tag on them, so they're not fire rated doors, which they haven't ever been replaced or anything, but. So we have to replace those. I say at least 5,000 a door. There's 6 doors, possibly about 30,000, but I wasn't really sure, so a motion had been made, so I do need that one, so I
Then
can,
in the nursing home.
nursing home, yeah. So for that, because it is over that 25,000, or could possibly be over, I'm guessing it's going to be. I figure that we bought a 36-inch door a couple of years ago, fire door, and that was over 3,000. So I'm guessing a 48-inch door, 4-foot door. We're not gonna do glass like the ones that are currently there, because that'll be more, because the glass has to be special glass, but it's, it'll just have a small bow on them, but.
I would move to grant Laura authority to do whatever she needs to do to bring Greenwood Connection into.
Can we even do that at a special meeting? Can we add it?
It's part of a report, so yes.
Into compliance.
I'll second that. Something that she needs.
Yeah, I had a date with because they have to say what we're going to do to fix it, and our first choice was to have them tagged, but we couldn't. So,
Is that all on the old section of Greenway?
it's at the nursing home, yeah,
the nursing
yeah,
home.
yeah. So the fire doors, so in the hall, smoke doors in the hallway. And eventually, if they look at all the rest of them, none of the rest of them have tags too. So I don't know what they're gonna do there, if that's gonna come. We actually asked the company that came out if they would tag all the doors since they were there, but they weren't able to tag any of the doors, just the frames. Thankfully, the frames, and he said they'll be fine because, and I had talked about that, if they came out,
Yeah,
how we're going to replace metal frames and concrete, so.
it can be done, but it ain't easy.
But they did tag them, so they came out and tagged the door frames, so, and Midwest Doors was there last week, and I don't have the quote yet. But they, said they should be able to work with those frames, so it shouldn't be a problem. The other thing was a sign-on bonus. Oh, sorry. You're
So we got a
right.
motion by Mike and seconded by Keith to let Laura do what needs to be done to be in compliance. Can I get a vote on that? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Right.
Opposed, motion passes 4-0.
So the other thing was a sign-on bonus, like to have that approved so we can advertise as with the sign-on bonus. I had tried to, we're not finding nurses, we're not getting nurses, and we need afternoon shift and some for the night shift. So we talked about doing a $10,000 sign-on bonus to be paid half at 6 months and half at 1 year. If we could advertise that, because the students are coming out of school right now, or they're going to be in May. So, you know, the sooner we advertise it, the better. I'd rather not wait until the council meeting in
Is that
April.
for LPN or RN?
I mean, it's hard to find LPNs, to be honest. There's no, I mean, I guess, there is a, class, or they're going to be possibly starting LPN class from what I heard. The director of nursing had gone, her daughter's interested in the RN program, so she had gone. And they said that if they're looking at, if somebody starts the RN program, 2 years is too long, they want to drop out, they can't, not drop out, but if they want to then complete the LPN program, they're going to allow some testing, or basically put that through their hours considered for an LPN. But
Either would work with LPN.
either would work, so I don't know that we're gonna specify. We might get an LPN for 10,000, maybe we won't get an RN. Either one of them is fine, we need a licensed nurse. So I think we'll probably do for both, I mean, the same amount for both, unless you disagree, but.
I'll move a motion to allow Greenwood to advertise the 10,000 sign-on bonus payable, 5,000 after 6 months, 5,000 after 1 year for RN and LPN.
I'll second that.
You said 5K at 6 months, 5K at 12 months.
Yes.
Any more discussion on it? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same sign, motion carries 4-0.
Otherwise, census is pretty good, 91%, I mean 59, so 12 in our TCU and 47 to 12 in the TCU. We're getting up to that 16. I had said that we don't seem to be climbing very much with our census, so that's good. And yeah, not much else if I'm not gonna go through the whole.
You have enough staff for 16 in TCU?
Yeah, we actually, I think we would. I mean, it changes, that, I mean, we have the staff nurses, so that's a thing too. But it does change. We have a lot of CNAs that are in the class. Well, as I've said before, we're finishing up a class and we're not starting a new one because Menahga has 10 and Savika has 11 or 12 in the class. And we've been getting a lot of applications. So yes, we have, because it's usually not a full shift, but it's a partial shift, but we have CNAs. I mean, I hate it that we would turn them away, but we've actually are at that point that we have plenty of CNAs.
How many of the applications you've gotten, Laura, have the intention of going on to college or some other schooling come fall, so you'll be losing them?
Yeah, I mean, not really anybody. So the ones in the class, obviously, most of them they're not going on to college. Most of them that the school puts through. We have some maybe that are seniors and would be working in the summer. I don't know, but even if we get ones working through the summer, if we're short, I mean, that's just the way it is. Then they come back and they work on weekends or holidays. So we do have that option. The summertime, we have a lot of we have staff that come back from school and breaks they're at school. So I don't think it's a concern. It would be nice to get up to 16 for the summer because I definitely believe we have the staff for it. So, otherwise, we talked a lot about grants tonight, and the architect had brought up after after the approval to go out for bids that she would work with me. There is the Department of Health, Minnesota Department of Health has a grant for assisted livings. Or like, I mean, it can be specific. I mean, we actually talked about even that outside space or the 180,000. I mean, putting in for that whole amount, maybe. I mean, and see, because if we're talking about, that's more sidewalks, sprinklers, everything. It's for that improvement or life improvement for assisted living. So
Can you add the 30,000 on it that they charge us to let us build the building?
yeah. Get some of that back. So she said after we found out that we couldn't do or that for a lot of it, we're not going to do that, be sales tax exempt. She said, she would help me work with me on trying to write that grant for that. So.
Did you ask Ellers to see if United Bankers Bank?
It's actually on my to-do this week and I haven't got to it yet, but I was going to reach out to the bank to talk to Eric, find out where we're at or what he's found out on that, and to talk to Ellers Todd as well, but I haven't. It's on along with doing the application for the insurance, because it's our annual insurance renewal. I think you guys too. So those are on my to-do this week.
I'd really like at least UBB to just give a sniff and see if there's an interest.
Yeah, I'll do that this week. So hopefully I have an answer on that.
Anybody have anything else for Laura? You have anything else?
I don't.
Go home. Go home.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
I know. You go.
All right, that brings up administration.
Right, gentlemen, I have in front of you a resolution recognizing the 1983 Minnesota state flag. I had a couple council members reach out to me and ask me if we can do this, and the answer is most certainly we can.
Yeah.
Will you fly it? we get our flag poles down there, well, we could. Both, or we could
So,
buy one under this if we chose.
yes, we're gonna, part of this, would be, getting a new lanyard and the flag. It's $100. I mean, perfectly well within, so.
Yeah, I just want to speak to that if I may, Jody. Yeah, I was one of the councilmen. I don't know who the other one was, but, based on the political situation in the state of Minnesota, I think there's an underlying current of some, and I'm speaking strictly for myself here, but there's kind of a council or a cancel culture out there. And I think we as a council, maybe we need to make a stand. I shouldn't say a stand, but at least express our opinion that, we want to embrace the 1983 flag. Just to make sure that I think there's 4 or 5 other cities that have done this, but I think based on where things are at, I think it's to honor. Just made myself a few notes here, just to honor the heritage and other and those Minnesotans that came before us. I think that state flag is indicative of what the state of Minnesota stands for. So I would like to see this resolution passed and then exercise our ability to fly the 1983 version of the state flag.
Well put.
And I know, in some of these other cities that have done it, the question was, well, how long can we get those? We can get those for as long as we want. They will continue making them. So they are available.
And I think they're more and more people are buying them. Civilian or private citizens are buying them. And so there's still a need and a want for them. So.
And based on the research that Brett did on it, we're well within our rights to exercise this resolution. I think Brett took the time and really did a deep dive on this. So I think we're in a pretty good position, to make a statement. And I don't know much a statement, but I think it's my belief that the current flag isn't indicative of what our ancestors and former Minnesotans put in to get the state to where it's at. And I won't say any more on it, but I would, if you allow the resolution to be written or to be read into the record, I would make the motion to pass it.
Yeah, I personally don't think the new flag, I don't know what it represents. I mean, I know what they say it represents, but when you look at it, you can't tell what it represents.
Doesn't represent Minnesota and what we have here.
It's like, what's an 8-point star? I've never seen one. It is. I don't know. That's my opinion. So if nobody has any objections, we'll read the resolution.
This is resolution 2026-09, resolution recognizing the 1983 Minnesota state flag. Whereas the city of Menahga values Minnesota's rich history, heritage, and traditions. And whereas the Minnesota state flag adopted in 1983 served as the official state flag for over 40 years and remains a meaningful symbol of Minnesota's pioneer spirit, agricultural roots, and identity as the North Star state. And whereas Minnesota Statutes 1.141 permits municipalities to display the state flag in a manner consistent with the United States Flag Code. And whereas the city of Menahga currently maintains a single flagpole dedicated to the display of the United States flag, Old Glory, which holds the position of highest honor. And whereas the Menahga City Council wishes to formally recognize and honor the 1983 Minnesota state flag as the city's preferred state flag. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Menahga, Minnesota, that 1. The City of Menahga hereby formally recognizes the 1983 Minnesota state flag as the official state flag of the City of Menahga. The city intends to display the 1983 Minnesota state flag below the United States flag on the existing city flagpole, in accordance with proper flag etiquette and Minnesota law, with the United States flag remaining at the top and equal or larger in size. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage. Adopted by the City Council of the City of Menahga, Minnesota, the 30th day of March, 2026.
I'll second Derwin's motion.
You gotta make the motion for the record, Dylan.
I'll make that motion, Jody.
Dylan and Keith is a second. Any discussion? As all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Both same sign. Resolution passes 4-0.
I'd like to invite up Kelly, please. One of the things that really gets overlooked a lot in what the city does as far as finances goes is we invest a lot. We're probably having investment conversations every month, every 2 months. And you know, I think that not a lot of people know that, and one that we actually make interest on it, and you know that directly impacts our bottom line here in the city of Menahga. So, Kelly, please.
And Durin, you've asked, a few times, about all the totals and everything. So this kind of gives you a breakdown, on this chart, January and February, those interest rates that are broken down for 4M and 4M plus, those, they fluctuate, but we get those monthly. And that kind of tells you the breakdown of all the different departments that this interest goes into. So it kind of gives you an idea of how much we are making every month. And then I also added on, we did just have 2 CDs mature last month. So the interest on those 2 was over $8,000. When we do pick the investments, we have PTMA send us a big list of all the options that we can choose for the length of time we want, the bank we want, the interest rate we want, everything. So Brett and I sit down, we discuss which option would be best for the city, and that's what we go with, which is how we've gotten to the 15,296.47 so far, just in January and February.
So those CDs that matured, you just roll them into new CDs?
We reinvest them, yes. The best interest rate that we've seen so far is around the 6-month timeframe.
Well, that keeps us liquid too.
And that's another thing that we discussed, right? Is when is the city not really taking in a lot of money? Usually in the summertime, right? So we always want to make sure that we have something maturing just about before and towards the end of summer, right? And then always kind of keep that revolving door going, because we never want to be at a point where we have to, pull money out, right? We got to let it work for us. So, and I mean, we, at least once a year, yeah, we got to go in there and take some out, but on the whole, we're really good about making sure that city's needs are met and these things are working for us.
And as we, like I said, if we have to pull some out, we're putting more back in, or are we able to be put more back in, or are we slowly losing our investment capital, or are we?
We're staying about, I'd say either, because we did end up pulling some out for the LTAG.
Yeah.
For, out of the water, sewer and street fund. But with the interest that we make, it's growing it right back up again.
Yeah, that's not bad for February.
No, yeah, I appreciate it, Kelly, you and Brett pulling this together, because yeah, it's kind of one of those numbers that you never really wrap your arms around until you actually get a chance to see it in this format. So I will say thank you, and if this could continue, not to say we need to see it at every meeting, but maybe quarterly, give us another snapshot as we go through the year, that would be very helpful.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, because I think we just had 2 CDs mature again this month that we just reinvested. So then maybe for the April meeting, I'll shoot out another one like this so you can see the interest that we made off of the ones that we just got.
Even if we do it in May,
In May?
we can get full April.
We got work session in June, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know, for me, it's like if we do it at the work session every quarter, that
No.
keeps us informed, I think. Yeah. You doing quarterly?
Yeah, no, that sounds perfect, Jody.
So me being new, well, on a year, What's the difference between the 4M and the 4M plus?
You know, that took me a while.
It's just, I would just,
Because, and the weird thing is when Elvina tried to explain it to me, I still sat there going,
But now you know.
but it depends on the day.
so you can teach me now.
Isn't one of the funds more liquid than the other? I mean, you can actually.
The 4M,
Fund that.
yeah, the 4M is more liquid. Where, you know, so we have the most money in the 4M.
Okay.
The 4M plus, it's
Kind of the short term
it's
versus
li-
long
it's
term type
it's
thing.
liquid, but you might end up paying something to take some out.
Okay.
It's not as liquid as the 4M.
They only require 4M plus to be on deposit for a short period of
Okay.
time. I mean, I'm talking like 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. So it's
And
kind of
once it's been with them 2 or 3 weeks, it's fully liquid.
okay. So it's a kind of a short term versus long term. It's
They're both short term, but 4M has no commitment to it. 4M plus has a commitment of, like I said, 2 or 3 weeks. I just can't recall.
it's
right
something
now,
where
but
once you put it in,
very, very
it's
short.
locked in
Yeah.
for that short time. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks. I know now. I know something. So
And then the other reason we kind of broke it down on here too is because when we were going to budgeting, right? And then you just we're like in water, street, sewer, whatever, and then you see that one little that investment, and you're like, where's this from, and why is it there? Well, it's there because that part of that chunk of money is in the investment. So that's why. Thank you, Kelly. And then don't go anywhere yet, Kelly. Can you kind of just talk to us about the categories that just get over expended, right? Can you just give us some examples?
Oh, well, right now there isn't too many except for the dram insurance under the liquor store. The licenses and permits for water is up there, but that's because the wastewater permit was already paid. So that's like the majority of that one that will be there. Otherwise, the questions that you had of some of the percentages that were really high, I did go back and I looked at them, and some of them I put back into 2025, some of them I recoded to where I think they should have been instead of like where they had put them in past years. Because to me, it made more sense to put, you know, like a subscription should be under subscriptions.
What was
You
the
know.
one account that was a negative grant amount? What was that about?
That was, we had taken Amy Sourcewell out. And Banyan doesn't work nice sometimes. So I redid that and just did a journal entry. So now, right now, all of that is under capital outlay. So you can see where she's sitting for how much the new police vehicle cost. Cause she was allowed 50,000. And she's at like 40, 46 or 48 right now.
Yeah, it's one thing with Banyan too, it's hard to find where, so a grant came in, and it shows that this is way over budget. But we had a grant, and it just doesn't.
And it doesn't let you move it where it'll show in both. It's either gonna be in one or the other.
I know that was some of the questions on them, some of those that were way above percentage. That's what it was passed through, that just doesn't, Banyan doesn't.
You know, and if you do a journal entry, yeah, it's gonna subtract it from the one, but then it's also gonna take it from the other one. And then you're not gonna see it over there anymore. So,
Have you guys been looking into a new system other than Banyan?
Yes.
yes and no, there's one that keeps wanting to meet with us.
Yeah, let's schedule that. Like, if you talk to 10 different clerks, you're going to literally get 10 different answers. And I mean, there is no real one size fits all. There's some that are going to tell you that. But yes, at some point we do want to make the switch, but we have some requirements, right? One of them is it's got to have some kind of function for the cemetery. It has to have something for the campsite, right? Like, and we need to have fund accounting primary, and then what other things do they have? And Some of these are like buying a car where like, hey, this is a great car, but if you want this, you have to pay this. And then, the conversation is, well, is the juice worth the squeeze at this point?
Is Banyan doing updates anymore even? I mean, are they,
We have to go in there and do them. They're not nice enough to send us emails that say there's a new update. We'll go to do something and it'll error out and then it'll shut down on us. And the first thing I do is I go into Banyan's website and sure, there's an update.
so they are still updating it?
Yeah. There's still regular patches and everything. It's a little clunky. I mean, that's what I'll say. It's an access program, and a lot of, and it's not cloud-based at all. I mean, it's cloud-based on our server. And, there's some other ones where you can access it anywhere to look at it. And, with function or multi-factor authentication.
Is West Central, had you guys do that yet?
MFA? No, not yet.
It might be something to look into.
I've been talking of the different conversation.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some cybersecurity that we're.
No, that's why I brought it up with your email. But even for us at work, we have to have it just to get logged into the computer. We have to have.
That's law enforcement sensitive too, right?
But no, that's just to get into that's not even to get into any of that's just to log into into the computer. We have to have the multi-factor authentication. So, and then get into the computer system. That's a different set of passwords and logins. And, yeah.
Fingerprints and blood types.
Good, I got one question for Kelly, if I may.
Sure.
Yeah, when it comes to the fire department's investment ledger sheet, and I haven't looked at one, for the coming meeting, which is coming up here shortly, but there's a question that came up, and you probably already gave me the answer, somebody did, but I need to get refreshed on it. It looked as though there was like $700,000 plus or minus in the fire department checking account. And I was told that some of that money is invested, some of it isn't. But I'm just curious, when you look at the investment ledger sheet, and maybe it's changed now, but why was that number so high?
Well, it's taking that number way on the end that you're talking about, way on the right. That is taking
Yeah,
every.
It's 700 and some odd thousand.
Yep.
In the community first checking account.
Yeah, it's totaling it up there, but it's taking the investments and the bank accounts from the general fund. So anything with the 101 to start, it's adding those three columns up and then putting that total over there. So it's not what is all in fire department, it's all of the general fund. So I was talking to Brett, it's something that I'm not going to get it done before the next meeting, but I want to redo that investment sheet to make it easier to understand for you guys. So then it's not having all these different ones combined together. It'll have like the fire fund, it'll have the general fund, it'll have all of that, and it'll make more sense.
Yeah, I think, I guess where I'm going with it, that if it just strictly had what's in the checking account, had that number, a standalone number by itself, is that what you're saying? You're gonna read?
I want to, yes.
That whole ledger sheet?
Yes.
Perfect.
I want it to be understandable by all.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, Kelly.
Have a good night, Matt. Yeah, bye.
One more for you, Brett.
Yes, thank you, sir. 2 council members selected for the Board of Equalization and Adjustment. That's coming up on April 16th at 9 a.m. here at City Hall. I just want to lock in 2 council members that will be in attendance.
Fortunately, I'll be sitting in the courthouse that day.
I'm
I'm gonna jury trial.
I'll be here.
up in Oslo, Derwin, are you available for
Actually, I'm gonna be in the gallery. I'm gonna be, I shouldn't say contesting the assessment on my property in the city, but I would just do not, Jody, if possible. But if I have to, I can, but I mean, I've got I just wanna talk to the assessor in regard to the valuation they have at my property. And then it may take action of the council.
Yeah, you'd still be in your right to do that, even sitting on the
Okay.
equalization board.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a taxpayer. You can absolutely,
Actually, yeah, that's my busy weeks.
I'm gone. So won't be able to make it.
Darn court.
But Mike and everyone then for that.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
definitely.
Otherwise, I would do it, but jury trial that.
Can you say, Fred, can you tell me what time is that scheduled to start?
9 AM,
And what day again?
April 16th.
You got it. Okay,
Yeah, Thursday.
Scare that. That should be all the business we have for this evening. Move to adjourn. Mike,
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
all
Aye.
right.
Motion carried. We are adjourned at
7:50.
7:50.
Okay, we'll see you guys later. I'll be back in the 14th.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, our two viewers. Appreciate you guys, chiming in here. We're gonna go off stream. Thank you very much.
Is this your shred button?
Yeah, no, this is the master copy. If you just leave it on your desk, that's fine. Someone will be over tomorrow to police it up.
Oh, yeah, just move down around that stuff for.
We're just not gonna stream, for this one. Yeah.